buying one or two extras to flip them. But I mean, there's got to be some limits on this stuff, and they know by now it's going to sell.
Yeah.
Why make it harder, and why piss off your fans by having a limit of 5 when they know it's going to sell out anyway?
Because they know it's going to sell out anyway. If nobody gets mad enough to stop buying anything, they're not going to change a damn thing.
But I'm saying the optics don't look good, Rob. I mean, I agree.
Doesn't matter.
I agree, but I'm just saying with Hasbro in the situation they're in, they need to foster all the goodwill that they can from their consumer base.
Oh.
It's very minute,
But
at least it'd be
if
something.
they have it set for 5 apiece and they sell out immediately, that only looks good to them.
Well, no. So one thing, I will say this as somebody who knows these things because it's my business, literally to know. Not at Walmart, but the two things that are most precious for in retail sales, likelihood to recommend. So if as a customer you are likely to recommend the retailer to somebody else, meaning that you had a good experience, that is second to sales, but it's above everything else. So retailers do want to know that stuff. It is precious like gold.
Well, here's the thing, though, Brian. There's an old saying, and you know it: sales forgives. If your sales are there, your higher ups can forgive a lot of crap.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Because you're hitting your numbers. But I'm just saying, I didn't realize that will you recommend was that high up in the hierarchy.
Yes, I mean at least for the companies that I'm familiar with. I'm not familiar with all companies.
Right, but I'm just saying if it is that high up, what they did is not helping to hit those metrics.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are pissed off. Because
that's exactly right. You're exactly right. That's true.
And I've been a proponent of Hasbro and Hasbro Pulse for how they've been handling everything. How the website before this update was working, everything seemed to be going in the right direction. We didn't have a hard time getting exclusives if you really wanted them. You know, the website worked fairly well. And it's done like a complete 180 and started to go the other direction. That's the thing I really don't understand.
The only thing I can say is people need to politely
write a polite letter.
No, I'm saying go to if there's an option somewhere on this new website for customer feedback, politely explain to them the issues that you're having and the troubles you're having buying their products, and make it specifically pointed that I can't give you money for toys because of X, Y, and Z.
More than that, if they send you a survey, respond to the survey. They care more about surveys than they care about emails.
Well, and also the problem is they paid probably some third party company to manage that survey for them. So they're not going to ignore that because that just means they're ignoring.
If it's Hasbro, if we're talking Hasbro Manages their own. If we're talking, most likely, if we're talking Hasbro Pulse as a third party, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, so I will say the retailers I'm familiar with, they do use a third party for some data aggregation, but they are very hands-on when it comes to scoring and the crafting of the surveys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a lot of surveys from Monkey something. I can't remember. What
Survey Monkey.
Survey Monkey. I've got
those don't count.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was like an important one or if it just
anybody can make a Survey Monkey.
Oh, okay.
If Dawn can turn back time.
Believe me, I would love to. I've turned back time to last Saturday when I was putting patio furniture together. Then I wouldn't have tweaked my back as bad as I have. I've pretty much been living on a heating pad and muscle relaxers for the past 2 days.
How's Christy doing?
She had COVID last week, so she's doing better. Luckily, I never got COVID from her. But now her knee is hurting where my knee is hurting, just the opposite one. So there's that.
Well, between the two of you, you still got a good set of knees. That's something.
Well, she said a while ago, between both of us, we make a full functioning person.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Nice.
I told you I got my results back from my MRI, my scan, and that I have a torn medial meniscus.
I'm not surprised.
My laterals are fine as long as they hold up, which is why I'm wearing a knee brace with side supports. But if they go, it's surgery time.
Yeah, this is what happens 20 years, inspecting the floors of concrete floored Hasbro warehouses.
Oh yeah.
If you just stay in your office and let the people do their jobs, Don,
Yeah.
without micromanaging.
I want to make
fine.
sure no one's leaving money on the table.
Well, they're leaving
the
money on the
first
table.
solution is to leave fewer tables sitting around.
Well, yeah, but they get to the break room, they have someplace to eat. Heck, every penny I find on the floor, I put right back into the company budget.
I was outside after work today working on
The railroad, all the long day.
Okay, now
working
Paladin,
on the car.
there is one. Paladin says that I'm so old. I think customer feedback still works. It probably works in different ways now. As just aggregates of what to, because people don't want to read individual responses. They want to read what is the overall aggregate percentage of X, Y, and Z. The individual problems get lost in the conglomeration. It still works, just not the way we think it should work, because it's all boiled down into bell curves and pie charts.
I love pie.
Christy
I could
made
go for
a
some pie.
she made a chocolate coconut chess pie last week. That was
Oh, that sounds good.
really good, but it was rich. You had to have a cup of coffee with it. It was so good you had to have a cup of coffee.
I'm very picky with apple pie, but pumpkin pie. Oh, it's hard to find a bad pumpkin pie around Thanksgiving time.
I prefer sweet potato. I think it's a lot more fun to eat.
I'm not a fan of either, to be honest.
I like a good mincemeat pie, but it's mincemeat pie sort of like fruitcake. I can have one or two really nice slices, and I'm good for a whole year.
I'll do pecan pie, but that's about it.
Ooh, I love a good pecan pie. Believe it or not, the Marie calendars in the frozen department, last year after the holidays, the local Walmart had put them on clearance for $2 a piece.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
The pumpkin, the pecan, and then triple berry. I got the last triple berry. I got 2 pecan and 2 pumpkin.
Wow.
And it was like $10 for all of them. And those were like $7 pies. That's probably one of the best pecan pies I've ever had, short of my mom or my grandma.
You know the Walmart, the little small apple pies.
Yeah, of course.
I love those things. They're only like they used to be like 50 cents, but now they're like 84
like
or
80,
something.
yeah. Believe it or not, the no sugar added is actually pretty good. It doesn't have that really aspartame aftertaste. It actually tastes like an apple pie.
Diecast, are you going to this G.I. Joe thing at the New Jersey Comic Con?
Next weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Sweet.
I've heard the NJCC people really like that show, and there's a
Diecast really likes that show.
yeah. Well, Diecast has found a lot of good stuff there. I think he's mentioned in the past.
Yeah.
One of the people on Twitter I was following, I want to give credit, but I can't remember who, has an almost complete collection of Bionic 6, including the van. It's like, oh my God, that's Bionic 6 is one of those really super pricey lines on the aftermarket, because they were mostly out of die-cast metal. So
Die-cast metal and clear plastic together in one lovely package. It's amazing there are any left at all.
Oh, the famous Amos creator died.
Is Chris coming tonight?
I don't know.
Or...
See, he passed away, and then the lady that did the original dub voice of Misty and Jesse passed away the
I
other
saw that.
day.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I had no idea they were done by the same voice. Well, I didn't watch much Pokemon. I was more Digimon.
No, really. I had no idea.
Blah, blah,
Brian, you're
Digimon.
dripping sarcasm again.
You and McFeely prefer Digimon? What?
Well, back in the day, I would message McFeely and about plot holes and stuff I saw in the show, and he and I had some discussion
I bet.
about characters. And I mean, his Digimon encyclopedia was a godsend when I was trying to figure stuff out, trying to rationalize the American stuff versus the Japanese stuff and keeping it all straight. I mean, it was a literal godsend. The man deserves a sainthood for keeping that thing up for as long as he did.
I knew he had. I didn't know he stopped doing it, but it makes sense. He's got to be spending all his time on his videos.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
he's still doing some of the wiki stuff, I believe.
I thought he gave up a lot of the wiki stuff to focus on his videos.
I don't know. I don't know how much Walkie's still doing and how much is being.
Walkie, I think Walkie just owns it. I think for the most part, like
Oh, okay.
I think Cypher, Monzo, are the ones who really do and probably other people that I don't know
Yeah.
do a ton of the
Heck,
work there.
I was watching one of Thew's reviews today, and he said he uploaded a picture of the Bumblebee Bumblebee gift card they had at Target because there wasn't one on the website, and he uploaded an image of that.
Nice.
Oh, hey, Diecast, on that same video that Thew was doing his unboxing, you remember the TFC, the Iron Factory, when before it was Iron Factory before Iron Factory existed. It was the 4 small robot jets and tanks that could work with the power core combiners.
No.
Yeah, they were on Big Bad for clearance for the longest time. I never picked them up, but they worked. They were actual fully transforming figures. It was 2 of the same jet mode, 2 of the same tank mode, and just different decos. And they would work with either Bomb Shock or the other military tank, and give you an actual decent looking power core combiner Bruticus. So I looked up on eBay; they are so stupid expensive now. So I wish I'd gotten them.
Little preview. That is the combiner part
Oh, okay.
for Fans Toys.
Is there a silver bolt plugged into it?
No, I did not plug Silverbolt in yet.
Now Zetas you could do with or without, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zetas you could do with or without Silverbolt plugged in. I remember that.
Yeah,
That
this is
sure
going to be
doesn't
the
look-
same way.
Yeah, I was about to say that sure doesn't look like Silverbolt is necessary to make that work.
No.
Does it happen to
it's-
come with a back plate to cover the back if you don't have Silverbolt plugged into it?
It does not.
That's not terrible, but yeah, I bet that would be a good addition at some later date.
But yeah, he is. I'm sure someone will 3D print one or something. Maybe an upgrade kit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this is like heavy on its own. I haven't had time to combine it or anything. I had to drive up to New York yesterday, and I drove home today. I got home about 4:30, and then I start working on the car till show.
What are you doing to it right now? It's like a project car too, right?
Yeah. Well, I had to put a new battery in it. The battery was bad, and I replaced some seals along the windshield, since you have to put you have to pull the cowl off to get to the battery. So I did that, and this weekend, my friend who owns the shop, we're working on getting the alignment done, because we tried to do the alignment the other day, and
Can't you do your own alignment?
what's that?
Can't you do your own alignment with like the equipment that you have?
No.
No, it's not. So what? I'm trying to remember what your company does again.
Mine does basically all the electronics in the vehicle.
I thought they did alignment too. Never mind.
Yeah, no, alignment, you need like an alignment rack and everything. So that's a big piece of equipment. And but anyway, there was an eccentric nut that shredded, and both tie rods were completely seized. Like, we even tried to heat them up and they wouldn't come loose. So we had to order new tie rods and a new eccentric bolt for the rear. That way I can get, because once I get it aligned, that way it doesn't chew up tires. It should be pretty good, I think. I
Sorry,
got
when you
dent
said
tools
an
coming.
eccentric nut that shredded, the first thing I pictured was Tony Hawk.
Funny.
Yeah, it's just been one thing after another with that car, but
Well, I mean,
I
you
kind
bought
of
it as
expected that.
I mean, you bought it with as a project car, so I mean,
And a driver too, though. Like, it's running too.
Yeah,
So you're
it's
driving
running.
it.
Yeah, I can. I'm not really driving it
Oh,
right
okay.
now, but especially because it doesn't have the inspection stickers on it yet.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
So I want to get the extension stickers put on. Inspection.
So I'm having a hard time adjusting to the not to the commute, but doing the show now that I'm commuting again.
Hmm.
It's like
Are
I'm
you commuting every day?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I'm
I
like-
didn't know you were in the office every day again.
I'm like really tired right now. I'm tired
Oh,
every Wednesday.
Can't blame you.
I mean, I'm not
I know
Matt. Matt's got it
Yeah.
way worse.
I don't really. I just work weekends. I don't have to do anything tomorrow.
Wait. You just work weekends?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Friday,
that.
Saturday, Sunday.
yeah,
I
he was
work
telling about
I
those.
work 12-hour shifts though.
Oh, I thought you still did like the 4:00 thing. And then, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm still up in the morning. I just don't have to be up tomorrow morning
Okay.
because I don't work tomorrow.
Nice.
And he wasn't up this morning.
Hello, Chris. Don was talking Digimon, and it had me wanting to cry. So I'm glad you're here.
I mean, I can talk about how I've been showing Christy more Babylon 5.
Yeah, you
Not
could.
feeling that either.
I mean,
That's that.
we
that's
don't have
the-
a lot of time for that now, but
That's all right. But she's actually enjoying it. We just saw.
We don't
She-
have time
she-
for that
she-
right now.
she's being very kind to you, I see.
Yes. Kim is not so kind with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
You've been
I can't
married
remember-
longer.
Yeah.
I can't remember the episode, Chris, but it's the one where Sinclair's girlfriend goes to.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
And we see the first glimpse of the first ones.
Yeah. The first ones.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with the ant at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Again, we're skipping TKO, so we're
Yeah,
skipping
that's
that.
yeah, no, I think that's for the best.
Yeah. I can't wait to get her to season 2 when things really start ramping up.
I can't wait till you get her to Signs and Portents. The season 1 episode.
Yeah. Well, that I'm also looking for Babylon Squared. That to me,
Yeah,
that
that
was
too.
that was a fun episode.
You just have to make sure to not tell her that they actually follow up on that. Leave her wondering how that's going to resolve, if it's going to resolve. That's half the fun.
And not knowing is half the battle.
Yo, Joe.
Oh. Hopefully, I'll have something really good from Sagaya next week. I found something I wasn't expecting. It's not anything earth shaking, but it's something I've seen for a whole lot more than what I paid for it. So
I got something today from Sir Gaia. First time.
Nice.
Nice.
I need to check Sir Guy. I was trying to do it while driving, and that's not safe.
No.
No.
Yeah, at work, one of my coworkers was talking about how nice. Don, what Don got.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Coworker was telling me how the yen crashed last week, and the price of the yen was like at an all-time low, and I got excited, which is terrible. but I got excited and I checked, and it's actually, as far as the conversion goes, it's higher than it was a month ago. I'm like, this does me no good.
Yeah.
Well, I checked and they had like 5 extra pages of stuff under Transformers. And I swear 3 of the pages are basically Gumber Ride cards for Transformers for the games. It's like, that won't work in my Deca driver.
I wish they would separate trading cards from the toy and hobby section. It makes searching such bother.
The one thing they have that I really want to get is that Pioneer Transformers the Movie DVD.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one I sent you when I saw it that time, Brian?
I don't remember if you sent it or not.
Okay.
I really want it, but it's more expensive than the laser disc.
Well, they've got both sets of Dag1 set DVD box set one, and it's never been this cheap, but it's still $700 for both box sets. And I'm like, I know the second I get it, Shout Factory or someone else or Discotheque is going to release it, and I'll be like,
yeah, that sounds like a Discotheque thing.
I keep asking them to do it. I'm being very polite. I keep asking them.
Well, all it'll take is another 25 years.
Yeah, I keep pestering people about Elgheim, but that's not happening either. So,
Rob, I'm putting a link in the chat.
okay.
I don't know what Nemo this is. Do you recognize what line it might be from?
Let me see. This is.
I'm wondering if it's an HCM Pro.
I think you're probably right. Let me see if I can get the larger picture because.
Ooh, what is this website? I have never heard of these people.
Oh! How much? $330. Oh no!
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna say
Just do it.
probably HCM Pro from the.
Wait till
from
the show starts,
detailing.
then do it.
From the
What is
what?
it?
From
it.
the detailing.
Okay.
Like some of the extra like panel lines on
Send me a
skirt
link.
armor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. But
Okay, then it's probably missing a ton of stuff.
yeah, it also and the description says in scale with 3-inch
3-inch figures, yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
The Matrix Buster version of the
Oh,
Convoy.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Brian, I saw that last week, and I was going to send it to you, but then I saw the
I'm not
price.
spending $330 on
Right,
it.
right. That's why I didn't send it to you. Is because I did not want to give you.
No, Rusty, I'm not buying it.
Until the show starts.
I'm not buying
I'll
it.
Take a drink.
I'm not buying it. Not for $330.
I was trying to protect you, Brian.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the extended MS in Action Gelgoog to show back up because
Oh,
it's the stock Gelgoog is still the rarest one of that line.
interesting.
They have carded GoBots.
Ooh.
Not many.
Are they? They're listed as Robo.
No,
Machine Robo.
no, they're not. Well, this one's under just GoBots. No,
Really?
Yeah, there are some imported figures on there.
Oh, this is on that Rogue Toy site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm checking, Sir Guy.
They got a carded.
I'm checking for Machine Robo.
Oh, they got a card. They got a carded Bolt.
Usain
it's
Bolt.
AFA. It's AFA graded.
Mm.
Oh no, not for $250. Carded GoBots have gone through the damn roof in the past 5 to 7 years. I mean, I got a carded Rescue for less than $60. Blue Leader 1, $440.
All right, y'all want to laugh? This is what I keep looking at on Sir Gaia.
Okay. I will laugh at Diecast. Gladly.
I mean,
Oh.
it should make sense,
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's a nice novelty, but
I mean, if you do this during the free shipping weekend diecast, like, between that and the commission, you will pay $12 for it. Like,
yeah.
you might as well just do it.
So this is
You
Oh,
paid
Revenge of the
a lot more for things a lot dumber than this.
this is Revenge of the Fallen
Yes.
with the Bumblebee transforming case.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it does look better than the Optimus Prime case for the first Transformers movie did.
Mm.
And I have the Optimus Prime one, and I'm like, but then I'm like, who really cares about these decorative box
You
sets
do?
anymore?
Yeah, I was about to say the important question is whether or not you care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I've never understood
Little
about people
bit.
buying all these DVDs and all this stuff in the steel books. If that's the only difference, why pay the extra money for the steel book?
Yeah, diecast. Why?
Keep in mind, Don is the person that will buy the collaborative GI Joe and then sell the GI Joe figures. So
I
Well,
liked
Well,
the
I got
steel
Soundwave out of
books.
pocket for $40 because of that.
They had nice art on them. They just felt premium. And it was nice when you were getting every single steelbook, like when Marvel was doing them and Best Buy was doing them, and then now it's just, I think it all fell apart. I don't even know if they do them anymore.
Anyway, diecast. If you do go for this Bumblebee thing, I assume you don't care, but assume the DVD does not come with it, even though it does not say that on the listing.
Yeah,
Like, assume it is just the case.
I have like 15 copies of that movie
Yeah,
because
and I
of all the
imagine
stupid box sets that
Yeah, and
came
I
out.
imagine you had no use for a region 2 or 3, whatever Japan is, copy of Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it's Region 2.
I think. I think region 3 might be the EU.
Yeah, that sounds right. I used to know these things.
Yeah, I did too. We good to go?
Yeah, I guess.
if Matt's-
Well, we're
if-
waiting. Yeah, we're waiting for Matt to come back.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
BRB'd.
I'm sorry. I didn't see the BRB.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure to let him know that you
Oh,
forgot about it.
I saw the video. I thought he went off camera for his internet.
Ah,
We know that's what it is, but we'll probably tell the other thing anyway.
There he is.
don't worry, Matt. We stopped Brian from starting the show without you.
I thought you
Okay.
went off. I
Yeah,
thought you went off camera to preserve your internet connection.
No, I went off camera to see what I heard outside, and it was the UPS guy delivering my Jaws set.
Oh, nice! Congratulations. Triplet ordered his today.
Your what
Nice.
set?
My Jaws Lego set. Technically,
Oh.
I don't have it yet because it's my birthday present, so I'll have it in like 2 weeks. But
Ah,
3 weeks.
So
but
you're gonna need
that's nice. They actually brought it to your house. That's amazing.
So you're gonna need a bigger box.
That was pretty good, Don.
Yeah, I will approve that one.
Okay. Let me start this. We good, Chris? You looked over the
Oh.
stuff I added the show notes. Are you good with me with the stuff I threw in? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I skimmed down my news feed and I could not find anything more to really add to it except for more toy pictures. So I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of knew going in it was going to be a light week anyway, so I wasn't like super worried about being late tonight and not having the show notes ready.
Yeah. Not a lot to talk about.
I figured I could
Spoilers.
throw that together in about 5 minutes.
Okay, let me start new recording.
Recording stopped.
Record on this computer.
Recording in progress.
3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 896. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Matt.
hello,
Hey, Matt.
hey, what's up?
Donald,
Hello.
the headmaster Don himself. Diecast,
Back like a bad cold.
were you out last week?
Yeah.
I lose track of who's out when.
Remember, he was at the beach and he sent us a picture of the stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah, that was me.
and Rob.
Hello.
John DeLuna is on assignment this week. So I have to say, Rob has turned me into a Sergaia convert. Every Wednesday now I check to see what's up because of the free shipping. Every single Wednesday.
Yeah.
They've
Inclu-
got really great prices. I mean, just a store in Japan with free shipping is,
Yeah.
probably something I dreamed of for 20 years. So
we're driving them to bankruptcy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure by the time we're all done with it, like the entire island they're on will sit about an inch higher in the water.
You know, I hope and fear that Menadrake will do this. At
Oh
some
my
point.
god, I would go broke.
Oh, that would be so great.
Yeah, it would be just. Let's just crash the servers. I'm sure that's what would happen.
I would save like $300 on just one item.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Mandarake is great. I mean, Suruga is great also because like they're pretty much equivalent in like the quality of stuff you get from them, and the speed because they both use DHL International Express. Like
Mhm.
it's super fast.
which is just
Um,
magic in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Mandarake, like, prices are usually good, but yeah, that shipping can be a killer for some of the like desirable stuff that's on there. So he doesn't usually listen to the live stream, but Eduardo Licious in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, actually went to Japan recently, and I think he talked about visiting one of the physical Suruga locations.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which
Very
I think was on like the 8th or 9th floor of a building somewhere in town. He posted a few pictures in our Discord. I don't know
He
how
did.
you'd go about finding them now, but like, you know, yeah, kind of a cool wrap back around.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And I kind of hate now that I really want something. I just clicked on our first news item and I started looking at photos. We have new hand photos of Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime compared to other toys, and he is exactly the perfect size. And I now have to have it so that I can recreate like the back and forth between Optimus Prime and Galvatron in The Return of Optimus Prime Part 2.
There will be no war today, Optimus Prime.
Oh
You
my
have earned
God, I am-
Galvatron's respect.
Giddy. I am giddy. Like I hate it. I hate how happy that makes me.
Yeah, no, like they look about perfect together.
Oh my God.
It looks really good with Studio Series Grimlock. I think we've seen that comparison before. We got a good shot of it with Studio Series Ultra Magnus. They look really good together. The
Oh,
thing
wow.
that it doesn't look good next to is Earthrise Megatron.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine because we'll get a Megatron to replace that soon enough.
Studio
But
Series
it's going to be a
86, yeah.
tank.
Yeah. It's always going to be a tank. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Learn
we
to accept it.
yeah, exactly.
You will be much happier.
Yeah, I mean, but we talked about how there's enough G1 megs in that Earthrise mold to get us a good silhouette robot mode of G1 megs. But
I mean, yeah.
we but how many times are we just got it in the Fractured Friendship 2-pack. We got it as the minor.
Yeah.
We got it as
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
think they still got one more use in it before they move on to something else, just to drive us insane.
I would rather them just, if they're going to make a new mold, do it for Commander class Megatron.
They will, Don. They will.
I'd assume leader class, but yeah.
I mean,
or leader plus.
I know what Don's saying because if they could make it either leader or commander and somehow hide all the tank parts inside so you don't actually
It'd be a
there's
backpack.
no way to physically know it was a tank.
Backpack.
They could, I mean, again, they could also design it like they did Earthrise RC, albeit hopefully executed better, where like you have a whole Megatron robot that it contorts and everything and takes up most of the shape of a tank in alt mode, but like most of the specific tank parts can be non-destructively removed.
Did you say non-destructively?
It may have come out that way, but that was not my intent. No.
See, the only problem is if they do it at a commander class, we'll be less likely to see that mold reused down the road.
I
If it's-
see. You're trying to future-proof us against having 15 of the next Megatron too.
Yeah, well, see, it's an upside for being a commander class. The downside is they could do it as like a leader kind of plus with all the extra accessories that Megatron gets with
Right, yeah.
the sword and the gun and the beak, all that other kind of stuff. So
leader
if it,
plus, isn't that a commander?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's
Well,
saying
no.
he's saying use commander class to make a leader-sized toy, but with a bunch of extra stuff with it.
Yeah, like
Instead
a
of making-
throne and a
Well, they have a throne mold that's just sitting there waiting to be used again.
Not
like,
that
you know.
throne mold. We want the
The Abraham Lincoln throne mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, given that Takara has solicited a copy of the throne with like its own serial number as though it's supposed to be a series unto itself, maybe we will get more thrones.
Okay. So, our friend Carl Volmer, Block AV, in our Discord right now, tfradio.net/Discord, has the correct answer here. He wants Megatron as the Neutro Fusion tank, the Action Master vehicle, with a G1 Target Master of himself as the driver.
I like that.
Yes.
I can get behind that.
Yes.
Thank you, Carl. You have solved all of the world's problems with that one message.
That's been a toy that's been on my to buy list for like 10 years, and I haven't picked one up yet. I need it.
Yeah. Well, I came up with something for my giant flying purple griffin. Redo the
Yeah, I know, Skylinks.
Yeah, but have the characters be the Cobalt Sentries in upgraded forms.
I mean,
So
I just wouldn't mind seeing that Skylinks again. That was a great mold. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a great Skylinks. I don't know how it would do as, like a purple griffin that for some reason now turns into a space shuttle. That might be a little bit of a stretch. But no, the point we're dancing around here is Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, like, it looks really good in comparison to a lot of the more recently designed and released toys. Like, they're trying to unify the toy scale in a really satisfying way where the deeper we get into this, the better everything fits together. I'm really happy with that. We are getting another G1 Megatron coming out, I'm pretty sure, as a Studio Series toy sometime in the next year. And that's certainly, even if they do like Springer and just heavily retool Siege Earthrise to be their starting point, like, I can't not see them reworking it so it is taller and matches 86 Prime's height in robot mode, because in the cartoon they were pretty much equals in stature. So, like,
Yeah.
I hope they do more than that, but like, they will do at least that. Sorry, Don.
If they started
fine.
from scratch on Optimus, I'm sure they'll start from scratch on Megatron.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with how many times they use that mold now. If
like,
they take
the reason they
that
partialed
mold.
Springer so heavily is because Springer was close enough the way he was.
Yes.
Yeah. The funny thing is, if you look at these pictures against Motor Master, I'm taken back to the original G1 toys when I got the Stunticon set and I put Motor Master and Optimus, and I'm like, this doesn't work. This is not what is wrong with this picture? And I get that same kind of vibe from, again, most of the Motor Master bulk is in all the Minosaur pieces, but it still looks good. But Motor Master still looks like his G1 counterpart. Like,
yeah, it's funny, and like, it really, like, it goes toward Motor Master's like attempted superiority complex over Optimus Prime, but he's also just like head and shoulders shorter than him, and like, he just doesn't measure up in any sense.
Yeah.
But no, like, Motor Master is one of those things where, like, I wish the cartoon had been more respectful of real world vehicle scales, because Motor Master would have just towered over everybody by himself.
Bruticus
then-
would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna add, like, if they did that, Bruticus would have just been a disaster.
yeah, I still want that Motor Master, that Minosaur set redone as the Autobots from Masquerade. I still want that to happen.
You've been wanting that since at least Combiner Wars, though.
Yeah, I know.
I
know.
would settle for completing the G2 team.
Yeah. Like, they're getting closer to that. It's just the question of, like, where are they going to sell Motor Master?
You would almost have to do it as a selects.
I would think so, yeah, through like a Selects and or a Pulse exclusive, because I feel like they'd have a hard time
And
convincing
the
anybody
problem
else.
is we still have to get the other 4 limbs.
Oh,
We
yeah.
already have 2 of them. We know
Yeah.
the third one
And
is going to show up, and it would probably be an easier sell to get the leader in selects if you already have all the limbs.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, look at what we have to do to get the limbs. We have to get them from Walmart capsules.
You're
not
not
Breakdown.
wrong, right? But if anything, that just makes the whole situation worse, because Breakdown's going to come out as regular retail, and it's going to be the only one anyone can easily get hold of.
Yeah.
No, Don's making a good point with that, but at the same time, Matt's also right. Once the limbs have existed, selling someone on Motormaster will probably be a little bit easier. The whole thing is just a huge mess. in all respects. And we've veered way off of this bullet point. So let's go to the
Well,
next
we
one. We're
have-
gonna-
Wait,
very few to
I
talk
still
about
want to
this
ask
week.
Don one question before we move on.
Yes.
If scale bothered you when you were a kid with G1,
He wasn't
What
a kid. He
happened
was
when
like a
you-
35-year-old man.
oh yeah, what happened when you
No.
got Ironhide or
No,
Ratchet and you were
Scale-
like, this isn't the same at all.
That is the only time scale has really ever bothered me. Even when G1 Blaster was this tall, Optimus was this tall, that never bothered me because I understood. It's just when you put Motormaster G1 against G1 Optimus to recreate any kind of scene from the Key to Vector Sigma, it just don't work.
It is pretty hilarious.
It bugs me. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of G1 Optimus Prime, we have photos of the Legacy G1 Universe Optimus Prime, or whatever they call it, and I still want it. I think I have it still. I have to compare it to Missing Link Convoy, and it doesn't compare favorably, but it's also 20% of the price or 25% of the price. So
Easier to just leave on your desk to mess with too.
yeah,
Yeah. Like it's neat. I think it looks better in like, real people's photos where it's, being posed more like we would versus say how stock photos are posed where
yeah.
nobody really messes with their toys that way. No, but like it looks satisfyingly dynamic. Obviously it's not as sharp or as shiny looking as Missing Link. It's a completely different kind of thing, but like I'm getting more interested in it.
I'm buying it. I'm definitely buying it.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying it, but I'm not interested in it. But I am interested
Well,
to see
we've covered the whole spectrum here.
the upgrade kits that come out for this because I think it really needs some chrome smoke stacks.
Well,
Maybe
but if you-
chrome piece to go over the bumper too.
But
if
if
they
you
could
get
do it,
if you get that Optimus for $25, and then you start buying a bunch of stuff to make it look like Missing Link, and you've already got Missing Link, why buy it to begin with?
Yeah, I'm hoping for the upgrade that
Because we have a problem, Don.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
hoping for like an upgrade kit that replaces the flip out plastic chest on this with a die-cast metal one, and
Yeah,
one with a full trailer, and
Missing Link will be like my display piece on that shelf with Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. This Optimus will be my fiddle piece on my desk.
Yeah.
That I don't have to worry about all the pretty paint and chrome and everything on Missing Link going bad.
I just
this
think this
is
will
like
look
my
really
first
good. with
Missing
chrome.
Link.
What I kind of want to see, I want to see somebody, and I'm sure we'll get it because I'm sure somebody will have gotten all of these. I want to see every like mold of G1 Optimus Prime that exists that is transformable just lined up from the world's smallest transformer to the Hot Wheels to this to the original to Missing Link. Just I want to see the whole, the whole range of G1 Optimus Primes in one picture.
Rob, I would love to see that, but as a giant start change poster like we used to get on the top of the boxes where start change finish, but it's a giant poster with each different Optimus being a different step.
Although that does make me think of something. So Don, your G1 Motormaster versus G1 Optimus Prime thing from a couple minutes ago, like would that work for you finally if you use the Hot Wheels one instead of the original G1 toy?
If someone gives me one, yes. I am not paying that much money for that tiny Optimus.
But that might almost actually scale correctly.
And it's not that important. Scale is not that important. I have gone without scale for the better part of 40 years. That was just completely, the pride, and it sold out. That just.
Yeah. Hot Wheels collectors, man.
Yeah. So I was talking to a friend at work who will remain anonymous, but he was formerly a store manager at Walmart, and he was regaling me with stories about how he I shouldn't tell the story about how he would, as a store manager, once one of his associates cracked the case in the back of the store, would go and take McFarlane figures and Hot Wheels and stuff, and he basically got all the choice pieces and chase toys. So, yeah.
Fiendish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was giving him such grief over it. But yeah, this was years ago. But like, it happens. So, Transformers Legacy United Star Raider Deluxe Lockdown found at U.S. retail.
I wonder if it actually has been though, because like this isn't the first report of somebody noting one on a Walmart peg, but in both cases I've seen so far, it has been a small number with no other figures from the assortment. And what I'm wondering is because Walmart.com has been shipping lockdowns out from pre-orders. I wonder if people have been pre-ordering multiples to hit the free shipping threshold and then just taking the spares back to their local store.
Possible.
Could be.
Like at this point, with what evidence we have of these being present, I would more think that's the case than a store just getting in one or two of them somehow. Because even if they mistakenly got the online distribution cases, that would be a full case of 8 figures, and I don't think someone would stumble on it when there is just a small fraction of that left.
Yeah, and it looks like of that entire assortment, Filch is the one everybody is chasing after at this point.
Glad I pre-ordered one on Pulse and got it already.
Yep, same. I got mine from Walmart, as a matter of fact.
Did you actually get it yet, or did you
Yeah.
just pre-order? Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those were like the 2 they were shipping out were Filch and Lockdown.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't
And
remember.
maybe Cannonball too, but I didn't order one of those.
I don't remember. Yeah, I think Cannonballs might have started shipping actually. I don't remember where we got this impression from, but it seemed like Filch might have been short packed in the case. So, like me and I think a fair few other people were trying to get those pre-orders in just to cover, because like for the most part, these capsule lines do not present that much of a problem to obtain in stores after the first couple of weeks. Like, even I saw multiple Cosmoses in person in stores.
I only ever saw one,
I saw
and that's the
2
one I
in that.
bought.
I saw 2, and that was it.
I didn't have nearly the problem with the Toxtron collection though.
No, the
because I had
Toxitron stuff
several
was way
opportunities
easier.
to get sideswiped and dead.
Yeah, Diecast
Yeah.
and I found Toxictron collection together.
Yeah. So like as long as you're patient, like for the most part, it's not that big of a problem. If Filch is actually short packed, that's a little bit more concerning. But like even in the Velocitron set, what was it? Clampdown was also short packed, I think, in the first case assortment, and that was not any problem to get hold of. It was just Cosmos.
Yeah. I was finding clampdowns at Ross.
Yeah, same. Like a year plus later.
So, I don't remember the story from 4 years ago, but apparently a company called Monogram was doing Transformers themed foam bag clips. They're doing more, and it's 40th anniversary themed with several characters like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Hot Rod. They're toy themed, they're toy designed. I just mentioned this because the world needs more bag clips for like clipping bags closed, and might as well be Transformers. So
I love that Swerve somehow rated to get in on this.
yeah,
In toy form.
yeah, that's crazy.
Like, yeah, no, that's kind of amazing unto itself.
Yeah, because Monogram is mostly known for models, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it's the same Monogram, honestly.
Well, what's stitched under towels?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I just like bag clips. They're the handiest thing ever. Skybound's Transformers Worst Bot Ever original graphic novel called Meet Ballpoint. I just saw this shared everywhere and I love it because it's an original graphic novel. I looked at it and I thought it was like a kid story, like with photos and print, but it's actually a graphic novel. And that's cool, and it looks like a fun story with I think Ballpoint is a Decepticon. He's a pen. So, it just looks cool. And this is the first in the series. Yeah. So, I think it's nice that they're doing this. This looks like something that I can read to my kids or have my kids read later. So, any other news that we want to talk about?
It's kind of a light week.
It is.
Yeah, so let's jump to what we got this week. Transformers Diecast. Did you get any Transformers this week?
I did. I got Fans Toys Superion. Well, at least most of him. He came with Jester, which was the last jet. Jester actually came with the two pieces for the jet before that that were wrong. They were supposed to they were clear plastic and they were supposed to be like a blue clear plastic. So pro tip, if anyone's getting that, if you use a Lego brick remover,
Mhm.
the edge is perfect to get behind the flap and pop it out.
Nice.
So that Lego brick remover, it was the because I was like, maybe I use a spudger, but that was like the perfect size. Yes, exactly.
So what do you have? What do you have as far as Superion goes? How many parts do you have?
I have all of them now.
Okay.
We're
So I
just
can-
confused because your Superion seems to be a bit disarmed.
Yeah.
So he shared this on Twitter, I believe, earlier. It's a picture of the torso.
the feet and the hands.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
no Silverbolt in it.
Imagine the Micromaster combiner torsos
Oh, yeah.
writ large.
Yeah,
but
Silverbolt
no
is
GPS.
optional.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, Zeta. I mentioned this in pre-show diecast. Zeta did the same thing, where you to get the most accurate look, you didn't have to have Silverbolt in there, but you could fold him up and put him in the chest cavity, kind of like what Minosaur does for that recent release in Legacy, similar to that.
How much did you spend in total? Out of curiosity.
Oh God, I don't know because it
Those
Well,
have
took
been coming
so
out
long.
for
Jester
yeah, those
was
have been coming out for years.
Yeah, Jester and Fireflight were the last two, Brian. Jester was $3.99 because he came with all the Superion parts. The other aerial bots were around 170 to 210, give or take.
Wow. Okay.
So,
So-
he's probably about $1,000 deep
So,
into that.
so yeah, the last two were really jacked up because they came with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you got it.
Blade Raider
Yeah.
says Silverbolt without Silverbolt isn't as exciting as Garfield without Garfield.
Garfield minus Garfield is the best.
It is.
And then I guess thanks to all of you, especially Rob, I got my first Suragaya purchase came today, and it is I'm just gonna show you because Chris will tell me I'm forgetting the name of this guy.
Oh, it's
Aftermath.
Aftermath.
Aftermath, yes. Thank you. I was looking on the package and I was like,
It-
there it is.
Yes, it does say it on there. You may have to read the katakana, but it does say it on there.
Yeah.
It says Chaos Terran Aftermath.
Yeah.
Which is very
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, just as an aside, I got a notification today that I ordered the American hashtag on Amazon, and I got an email asking me to approve the delay. But when I try approving the delay, it says the effort failed. So if you did get a pre-order in for the American hashtag when they had the no picture on Amazon, you may be getting a approval notification that you can't approve right now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I like how this figure looks. It just looks so great. And didn't you say the US one is going to be slightly different?
It is. We saw pictures of it last week when you weren't here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like at least hashtag and aftermath are going to have some fairly significant changes.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
colors are pretty
like
different between them.
Aftermath's legs and stuff are going to be a lot more like of a light gray.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the headlights don't have the little X's painted on them.
Yeah.
So
The Hasbro one's perfectly serviceable, but like I'm pretty sure the Japanese one more reflects what the show looks like, and it just looks really nice.
It is. It's a good looking figure. I'm
Yeah.
really happy with it.
If only it was 20% bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else, Diecast?
Yeah, the other thing I got locked down the Walmart exclusive. And I also got from Target, I got Masterpiece Brawl due to their
Oh.
15%
Yeah.
off. It brought it down to like 140.
Yeah, I wish I had waited and not got mine but I figured it would take forever for that to even show up at Target, and there you go, 2 weeks later, and it's on sale.
Well, normally you can get those figures on sale for about $100 if you hit the right sale. I didn't want to try and wait for that just because I like Brawl so much that I was like, it's
He's
$40. I'll just, do it
Yeah.
now. But I did at least get him on a sale.
yeah, and
Nice.
it's probably the best movie masterpiece in my opinion, as far as feeling like it's worth the money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I probably got a couple other things too, but we'll call that.
So,
Uh,
Diecast, when you got locked down, did you order two of them to get the free shipping and then take one back to your local Walmart?
no, I did not. I actually have the Walmart Plus, so
I
I
see.
get the free shipping no matter what.
And you get the free ad tier of Paramount Plus to go with it.
And they've added this feature that you can spend like $40 a year to get the premium version of Paramount Plus. That is totally worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess compared to a yearly Paramount Plus subscription,
Yeah, totally worth it.
that's actually quite a bit of savings.
With Showtime too. So
Showtime doesn't have anything that good on it.
yeah. Don, did you get anything?
Yes, I did. Got some from Shagaya. This was apparently, I'm pretty much done with mini cons, but they did have the clear Optimus Prime that was apparently a giveaway in some convenience stores with purchase back in the day. And I got basically it's Optimus Prime. It turns into Ion Blaster for like $10 shipped.
Nice.
And I thought that'd be a nice little thing. So right now I have Alpha Trion shooting Optimus Prime. So I got that. I got in the next of the new Iron Factory Lyle Kaiser. I got Jaguar. I got him today, and I got the torso piece that connects him with Leo Zach. So that's 3 of the 6 that have come out. So I've got Lio. I just need the rest to make Kaiser. I got in from Show Z store. The APC Toys does a lot of old Prime molds. They're refurbishing some Prime molds, but I got the Viacon General in silver, which is in that really nice what we call like Bandai silver.
Hmm.
I never got I got the black version of the Viacon General back in the day, but I never got the silver one because it was very expensive at the time. So this one is the silver version of the Viacon Air General, and it came with I don't have them, but it came with 2 of the little scraplets from Prime that you can open up the mouths, and it has the big mouths of teeth in them.
So you say that the APC is refurbishing Prime molds. Does that mean this is theft?
Well, they're not making this mold anymore, so and I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. It's a fake, but it was also $24 with free shipping, and the original one goes for quite a bit more than that, and that's in that Maverick colored beige white plastic.
Okay, so like you said, you've handled the official black Viacon Air General thing,
Yeah.
the Jet Viacon. Have they changed anything about the mold?
This just came in today, but
Mhm.
I've been messing with. I haven't done a full transformation, but it feels like it's identical.
Okay.
There's no upgrade because they did a cliff jumper last year that is very similar. I don't see anything different about that.
Okay, then it's definitely theft.
Yeah, but I got that. Last 3 things I got is, since this is Transformers related, I got just one. I don't want any more of Death's Head.
It's
Well,
Death's Head
according to
1.
Death's Head 2.
Death's
Yeah.
Head. Well, Death's Head.
Death's
1.
Head. Death's Head is
The original.
not. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, this is the original Death's Head.
If someone does send you another Death's Head, you still got my address, right?
Right. Mainly just because I do
There's
think
good
it's a
homes
good
waiting.
it's a great looking figure, but I love the fact they made the box the Marvel card art. So
That is nice.
So it looks like his Marvel trading card. So that was worth it just to have one in the collection that wasn't that god awful Death's Head too. And the last thing I got on topic was something I wasn't planning on getting, but I have Masterpiece Rhinox.
Oh, nice.
And I got him for $145 shipped.
Okay.
I wish I could say it was Dononomics, but it was pure luck. I had him on my Amazon US watch list, He was at $350 by most sellers. I thought, and then retail at like Big Bad and other places was $220. After the show 2 weeks ago, I was going through my Amazon list to see if there's anything I needed to delete. It was showing up for $145. So I used tfradio.net/Amazon, put it on 6-month equal pay on my Amazon card. So I now have Masterpiece Rhinox for about $80 less than everybody else. A really solid figure. He does have some backpack. Obviously, the Rhino junk has to go somewhere, but a lot of it also compresses into the torso behind the jaw. So it's really kind of all back there, fairly well hidden. He has both Gatling guns. One hides inside. They could not get both of them to hide inside, but you can at least hide one of them. He has extra expression. He has a spark crystal. You can even have levers to adjust his eyes, the way his eyes are pointing. And his ears are one of the best parts because they're completely emotive. So you can have happy Rhinox, sad Rhinox, or confused Rhinox. So just a really solid figure. Kind of makes me wish I hadn't skipped Dinobot to have the complete core set. But really great figure, and if you can get him for a good price, I do recommend him. And that's all I got on topic this week.
Matt,
That's a pretty good get, though.
anything for you?
Yes, like Diecast, I also made my first Sewer Gaia purchase this week. And like Diecast, it was also Aftermath.
Awesome.
Nice.
And like this was one of those. I don't watch Earthspark. I caught the first couple episodes, didn't do anything for me. But like when I saw this character design, I knew I needed this. I love it. This is one of those character designs where I want to see this repeated in Transformers going forward.
Yeah.
I would love to have a Generations version of this. I would love for it to be Voyager size. But yeah, it's like great. I love the old style truck mode. I love the rooster feather mohawk he's got going on. Like everything about this is just makes me happy.
I feel like it has one of the best executions of the sides of the truck fold up to become the lower legs mechanism that I've seen in any of these.
And
just feels
I
really
love
nice.
that transformation trick. I would like to see that used more often.
I feel like Siege Hound still might do it better. Like, to me, it feels a little awkward to get everything lined up where the panels can flip around the way they need to on Aftermath.
Stuff does get in the way a little bit, but not enough to detract from my enjoyment of it. So, and while I was walking through Walmart today, they actually put something new on the shelves, and I got Studio Series 86 Bumblebee.
You got it at
Neato.
Walmart? Nice. I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice figure. He doesn't do anything spectacularly new for Bumblebee. And like we saw this from all the pictures, he is really, really boxy and square. Looking at him from the front in robot mode, you can tell, but it's not a deal killer or anything like that. You can look past it. Clearly the boxiness is for future uses of the mold, which I am looking forward to because he is really nice. A little small. It hurts paying $25 for him, but he is nice.
Yeah, would you say, Matt, that's the ultimate it's a price point, not a size?
Yeah, I hope they do a cliff jumper off of this sooner rather than later because I am not in love with the original Studio Series 86 cliff jumper. It's always felt weird, and now that I know there's a better option out there, I would like to replace it. But that's it for me.
Cool. I'm going to get my stuff out of the way. Then I have to have a little family issue popped up. So Chris is going to take the reins. But I got a few things on topic this week. I got Master Force Wilder, a.k.a. Fangry, G1,
Ooh.
in the box.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's something I didn't have. So that was a new piece for me. I got a Target Master Sure Shot in the box.
Oh.
Yeah, Japanese. I have a few of this figure. It's not my first version of it, but it's the first one that I have in the box. And I also, this is something I bought during the show a few weeks ago, but the eBay seller was on leave. Got a mint and sealed box, Hasbro, or I guess Kenner Magnaboss.
Oh, cool.
So,
Never touch Silverbolt.
oh yeah, so I have a loose one. Actually, the version I have is the Korean one. So
Oh, Sona Kong, yeah.
Sona Kong. I had an original Hasbro Kenner version, but I don't know what ever happened to it. So, but this is I just love the look of it in the box.
Mhm.
Always have. So I am very happy to have it now. Mint
Yeah, I
sealed
thought it was really
box.
cool, the like little shelf they built to put Silverbolt on in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the extra protection.
Yeah.
Cool, and that's what I got this week. I'm dropping. Thank you guys.
Take care, Brian.
Well, I don't have anything to talk about this week, so we'll go to Rob to round out our on topics.
I have nothing on topic, but I finally went and looked it up, and I just want to shout out a random hero 64 on Discord, who is the person who initially clued me into Surugaya about a year ago.
Oh.
Because they
I think we would all like to thank him.
yeah. Yes,
Or-
thank you
Our
so
wallets may not, but
Yeah, I know. Either thank or curse, because honestly, like some of us have put a lot of money into that at this point.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's who told me about it, and I really appreciate it, and I'll probably still appreciate it even after I have, collapsed the floor of my space with art books. But yeah, I got nothing on topic this week.
Well, if you get enough art books, you can just build a new floor out of them.
That's true.
Yeah, they're very heavy duty and sturdy, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just very decorative tiling kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
All right, so I haven't forgotten anyone, right? Right?
No.
No.
Good. All right, so in that case, we will move on to our off-topic, what we got this week from Surugaya. This is, of course, exclusive to our Patreon subscribers. So if you would like to be able to follow along with our off-topic or ham sandwich content, go sign up at tfradio.net/Patreon. More on that in a little while. So Rob, we'll go to you for what art books you got this week.
Okay, well, I did in fact get some art books.
Uh-huh.
They basically, I've been buying a lot of art books for things I've never actually played or seen because they're like $4 a piece,
Mhm.
and I like art, so what the hell. And one of the most interesting ones that show up cheap are the Pixiv yearbooks, which the online art site Pixiv apparently puts out a book every year with like illustrations from either non-copyrighted things or from copyrights they own, like Vocaloid stuff. But yeah, nice books, good good for bathroom reading. That's why I tend to get that. But yeah, got a bunch of those. Got a get well present I'm going to send to a friend soon. And also, and that's all from Surugaya. I also got I just decided to check Target's eBay store after getting Target Optimus Prime off of that a while back. And this week they had the Bandai model kit 1/12 scale of Boba Fett as he appeared in The Mandalorian for $15.
Wow.
So, it's every so often the Bandai kits will get cheaper than Black Series figures, and I figure that's a good place to jump in. So, yeah,
I mean, what's the SRP on that kit? Like $35?
probably, yeah,
Yeah.
at least 30, I would say. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so that's I got that, showed up fairly quickly. It's going onto the backlog. I still need to finish Perfect Cell. I started that a couple months ago and got jumped by Dark Souls, but anyway, that is everything I have gotten this week.
Matt, how about you?
A short time ago, the UPS guy dropped off my Jaws Lego set, but it is a birthday present technically, so I'll talk about it more in a couple of weeks.
Also, everybody remember to wish Matt a happy birthday in a couple weeks. He does not maintain a public Amazon wish list, so send your well wishes instead of material things because that's what he prefers. Oh, well, I'm going to assume since Brian didn't mention anything about off topics. He has no off topics to regale us with when he gets back. So, Don, how about you?
Just a couple of things. I found M. Bison from the Jada Toys Street Fighter line. Um, this is one of the this is what classified. I'm not buying. Well, I am buying most every classified. I started out not buying most every classified, but I am only picking up a few characters that I like from this line. But I feel like you're getting a really solid value for the money with this Street Fighter line. Also, I was very lucky enough to pick up the Once a Man set from Hasbro Pulse. So I
Ah.
was lucky to get one of those. I know a lot of people like Diecast had trouble. It's got a really cool lenticular cover. So if they can do
Oh,
neat.
nice.
I
so if they
like
can
that.
yeah, so if they can do lenticular covers, they can do visionaries. So that's they have no excuse. They have proven to me they have no excuse now. So I got that. And the last thing I got was tfradio.net/Amazon. Back in 2023, they had the Disney Gargoyles. This was not the NECA line. This is by Beast Kingdom. And this is a version of Goliath that they had for a San Diego exclusive. It was on Amazon as a lightning deal for $53 down from $99 with free shipping. So I went ahead and picked that up because it has light up eyes, a few different accessories than what the NECA version has. And it was a super good deal. So it's back up to like $100 now. So I went ahead and got that. And that's all I got off topic this week.
So, Dawn, are you going to be furious when they don't do visionaries, but they do include the lenticular shields with the Marvel Legends Secret Wars figures they're going to do?
My rage will know no bounds.
I look forward to that day because, like, it's been a good long time since we've had a meltdown, and we have to get this on the record. And
Yeah, with my luck, it'll be a Tuesday.
Yeah. So Blade was asking in the chat, like, what day did you buy that M Bison?
Actually, I think it was a Tuesday.
For Dawn, it was a Tuesday.
Never done. It was a Tuesday. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Diecast, stretch out the show for us a little bit here. What'd you get on
All
topic?
right. Well, I got something I said I knew I was eventually going to fall down the rabbit hole, and I did. I got Ryu, the Jada Toys Street
Mhm.
Fighter,
Yeah.
and I got Chun-Li.
Okay. You got the first Chun-Li.
First or second?
First one is the regular blue outfit. Second is the red
I
outfit for
think.
player 2, and then the third outfit is the violet one, which is exclusive.
Well, wasn't John saying they switched factories or something? And
Yeah,
and
there
there's-
was some kind of a running change like that. I don't know
Yeah.
if that was per a specific deco, but there was like a change on the packaging where you could identify which was which.
Yeah, so her packaging is the same as everyone else's. So I'm hoping it's the better one, which was the second run of it.
If I remember what John was describing, I think the more plain box back was the revised, the second factory one,
Yeah.
I think.
I also got Ken.
Nice.
Also, Jared in our Discord is clarifying it's Ryu, not Ryu.
Yeah, I know. I always called it Ryu. I don't know. But yeah,
That's
Ryu.
because you're an American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do the same when I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
I got Dawson.
Yeah.
And
I started playing with Dawson, but I was terrible at him because I couldn't get the combos down, so I just switched over to Ryu.
and like Don, I got M Bison.
On what day?
I don't know. They were all like normally on Amazon. There were some that were 30, some that were 25, somewhere that were in between. It worked out they were all like 25 or $24. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get all of the ones that I wanted. I think I got all the ones that are out. I'm not
Regardless, the day he got M. Bison was the most important day of his life.
Yeah,
To
so
Bison, at least it was a Tuesday.
Yes.
I think I got all of them that are out.
Well, there is a player too, Ryu in gray. There's a Ken in white. That's a variant as well.
I
So
would
there,
say
there's
if it's player two, Ken should be in blue.
well, well, I think it's white when he was possessed or something. I don't
Oh,
know the
evil
street.
Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the Street Fighter lore. Just what John DeLuna tells us.
And then I also got Marvel Legends Deadpool or Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool and Wolverine. So I got the first two.
Could you have
Um,
made that sentence more confusing?
Yeah, I got both of them. I got Deadpool and Wolverine from the new movie. There you
You
go.
got Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah,
Um,
I hate everything.
Is that it, Diecast?
that's it.
Okay.
Okay, so were you ever able to secure yourself a pre-order for Was a Man?
Uh, there were two people in the chat who reached out to me. So yeah, I was
Okay,
able to
that's good.
secure, which is awesome because I actually wanted to because there's so many different versions that you can make with him. So I feel like you can have two on your shelf and they can be different. They can be different stages.
I like the fact they included the snake
Yeah.
that you can put around Roadblock if you want to recreate that scene.
Yeah, and isn't the correct roadblock the O2 roadblock, the very original?
I
I'm not.
don't think they've made that roadblock classified yet.
There's two roadblocks, but I don't know which one. I've seen people do it, and
For the original toys, it was roadblock version 2.
Okay.
But I don't think they've made that roadblock classified yet. I could be wrong because I don't collect classified, but I don't recall seeing it.
They've done a lot of roadblocks. They've done like 4 or 5 roadblocks already.
Well, I think 3, counting the Tiger Force first. I think it's only 3 so far.
And it just staggers me how much classified there is. Like,
There
Yeah.
is so much.
But I mean, none of us thought when classified. We were all surprised when it started.
yeah,
Because
We were asking
thought
for it for years.
I am so glad I never started because true building that would have killed me.
yeah, and you would have
Mhm.
too.
Yes,
You have a
because I
problem,
can't help
Matt,
myself.
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
because you can't help yourself.
But I mean, between the Jada Street Fighter and the classified, I think those are really the only two $25 on average price point where you kind of get a lot of figure for your money. Transformers, like Matt with Bumblebee, it's a price point, not a size. So you're spending $25 and you get character X or you get Bumblebee, but it's still a $25 figure. But consistently at that price point, those two lines seem to be giving the best value for the collector buck. Maybe Masterverse, I don't know, because that varies wildly as well.
I don't know. It still hurts to pay $25 for a deluxe, especially when they're as small as
This small
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's when you really see the whole. It's a price point, not a size, because you expect a deluxe to be
Deluxe.
Deluxe.
yeah a certain amount of mass, and knowing that they're going to get cliff jumper, hubcap,
Bug bite, maybe.
bug bite, maybe a remold to get bumble jumper, and then they can also redo all the Argentine colors for Bumblebee and cliff jumper if they ever go that route. So I mean, you're looking at seeker level repaints there on that Bumblebee mold, and they couldn't give us a little bit more
Give me
figure.
a glyph and a tap out.
Yes, glyph and tap out.
Please, finally.
That's affordable and not a keychain.
I'm
I mean, if we're going that route too, we need them to finally do the deluxe wind charger so we can get Rook. That's not a keychain.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Robert. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm going to say, just going back on the, value for money thing that, yeah, Masterverse is a pretty good value for the money because most of it ends up on clearance sometime or other.
Yeah.
I
We
don't
all-
think
we-
that's how that's supposed to work, but okay.
We also need a deluxe wind charger so we can eventually get a smoldering corpse. But
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, now that we have this wheeljack from the 5-pack, even though we've already technically had that before, once we get Wind Charger, we could easily get another Dead Autobot 2-pack with them.
Yeah, I would hope with that as justification, they would make an all new Studio Series 86 wheeljack.
Wheeljack kind of needs to be redone.
Yeah, I mean, like the wheeljack we got is
He's
fine
fine,
in most
but
respects,
I'm
but you
not
can
as-
tell it's early in the process for them to actually have done that.
Yeah, he's fine, but I'm not as big a fan as other people seem to be.
Right. Yeah, no, I think with Wheeljack, it was more a case of like compared to what we had to choose from prior to that, people were fairly happy to have the
Yeah,
Earthrise one.
because the one before that was the Combiner Wars one,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
didn't.
see, and like I'd forgotten about what I was thinking primarily was the Reveal the Shield era one,
Which is
That's a good one.
trackside tool.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
That is a good one. I mean, it really is.
It's a better Wheeljack than it was a Trax, yeah.
I mean, Studio Series, I'm not sure how much more they can mine, without, basically redoing characters that we've already recently got. But look at
There's still a
Optimus.
lot of characters in that movie to do to get Studio Series 86.
Well, we're getting constructed. I mean, pretty much they're looking at the whole movie now as your Cantina scene from Star Wars.
If they
You
put
know.
Snarl in it, they can put any character that is in a single frame.
Yeah, because Snarl was in like 2 frames, and that was
Yeah,
pretty
Maybe
much
three.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like by that logic, we could get Studio Series Hound, Sunstreaker, again, if you count the corpses, Wheeljack, Windcharger. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely depth to plumb there from
Just
single
imagine-
frame
If
non-speaking
they want to,
appearances.
if they want to keep making super accurate, to animation models, they can always fit them in Studio Series 86 because there's an excuse.
Although
I mean-
with like Sunstreaker, I struggle to imagine how they would like go Studio Series 86 with that and make it be substantially more better different than the Earthrise mold from the
I'd like to see
5-pack
them
version.
give it a shot. I'd like to see them give it a
It
shot.
would be an interesting attempt, yeah, but I feel like that one was already like really, really close to what they would have been going for anyway, especially once it came back in the 5-pack in the right colors.
Yeah.
All it's really
Uh,
missing is the spoiler. Sorry, Don, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying, look at this scene when Unicron attacks Cybertron and all those Decepticons running around. I mean,
Yeah,
Te-
Studio Series Shockwave with toilet paper stuck to his foot. Yeah, that'd be the thing.
it's. I mean, I'm off. I just don't want it to be like we got Siege Optimus. This is a really good Optimus. We really like it. It's a Cybertronian Optimus that's not this indistinguishable blob. A year later, we get Earthrise Optimus, and they knew Earthrise Optimus was coming when Siege came out. I don't want that to be getting good figures, and then all of a sudden we get the better figures a year down the road
Yeah,
in 86 when it's like, do we want to switch out? Well, it does have X, Y, and Z that this didn't have. Damn it.
right.
And that's what I'm afraid we're going to be running into, is a lot of stuff.
We're kind of doing that already because Siege Springer wasn't that old.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no. I mean, I didn't need. I wanted the Studio Series Springer because it did look a lot better it'll look a lot better on the shelf when I get my movie shelf set up. But it's the Springer toy I haven't touched in a couple of years.
We got Studio Series 86 RC directly after we got Kingdom RC, and they were basically the same toy anyway.
Yeah.
No. Studio Series RC was basically the same toy as 2014 RC, which was itself substantially superior to Kingdom.
That's still the one I use, is the Legends version of that 2013, 2014 toy.
Right.
So I don't mind them doing the 86 stuff, but I want it to be something substantial, worth switching out, and not just shades of improvement.
Mhm.
Incremental improvements. I would like a Sunstreaker that the yellows match. That's
That's the
That's the
Autobot 5
5-pack,
pack one. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm just saying, I want if they're going to do an 86 Sunstreaker and they're going to make it more accurate.
Yellows seem tricky though, because even on
Yeah,
Bumblebee here, like there's no clear plastic in him as far as I can tell, and there's still a little bit of yellow mismatch.
Yeah, because I think they still had to paint some yellow over black plastic, and that's going to have the same problem as painting it over like a clear blue or whatever. Like that's still gonna affect the tint quality of the paint color.
But
yeah,
yeah, like his roof here seems to be its own yellow piece, but it's a hint different than the other yellows, and then you've got the yellow painted on the gray right underneath where it gives off a little bit of green from the
Hmm.
bleed through.
Yeah, I
So
think
yellow's still going to give us a problem.
yeah,
yeah, I think depending how they would have the paint masks designed for it, they probably can with some of the techniques they've been using more recently, probably avoid some of the like yellow over clear blue problems by doing what they did with Blaster originally, which was casting all the clear parts in like smoky gray, and then the stuff that needed to be a specific color, like the eject parts, they sprayed all of that in a transparent paint color to get that clear blue look on that. If they could paint mask it to basically double shoot a piece, do one layer of yellow and then clear blue over colorless clear plastic base layer, they could probably get the right effect without having that tint bleed through if the paint masking works right.
Or we could just go back to the old days when they could use more sprues and we'd have our own clear plastic as inserts into opaque. But those days are long gone.
yeah. I
I'm afraid
mean,
so.
it may be also something to consider is when Hasbro starts doing this, when it eventually gets over to Takara's side, they may even have better paint jobs than what we'll be getting on the Hasbro Studio Series 86. So then we have to worry about, is Takara
I
going to go
mean,
back to doing their own thing?
they already kind of did with the Earth Spark stuff because we know Aftermath is different.
Yeah, so it's it's a never-ending battle, and I don't know how many
And
more
knowing is half
years
of it.
I got. No, yeah, we don't know. That's just it. We don't know. So we're kind of going in blind.
When Diecast was talking about getting parts for previous aerial bots, third-party aerial bots with later aerial bots, I was thinking about how basically we've reached the point where we get post-release patches for toys. And unfortunately, Hasbro's way of doing that is we instead of patches, we just get the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, I hadn't thought
Yeah,
about it like that, but I mean, it's like with the NECA line, with each subsequent release for the Gargoyles figures, you get the previous figures like closed wings.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy character X and then you get the previous characters, the folded wings, which I guess is a way of adding a little bit of a bonus, but it's like, couldn't you just gave us with that character to begin with, but it gets you buying the next character.
Yeah.
So it's
like
just
I'm glad having watched a video demonstrating Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime's transformation that like on all levels it looks like more than the DLC version of Earthrise Optimus Prime to extend the metaphor. Like, it looks like a whole new iteration of the idea. And like the backpack on it, sure, I don't like how prominent it is from certain angles, but like it's good that it is a new take on transforming Optimus Prime, and also looks to be a lot more pleasant than how MP44 looked to transform. Obviously, we weren't going to get anything of that complexity level in a mainline product, but still, like you'd have to sit there and worry about it a little bit when you first see how MP44 like that robot mode looked in the first
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure they took some design cues from MP44, like the side panels, and I've watched that same video, Chris.
Yeah, but
So
this looks a lot more simple.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, like the legs I think are doing some of the same kinds of tricks, but they're doing it in a much more straightforward way, a lot less Like MP44 doesn't look scary to do, it looks irritating to do, and this looks a lot more like it's more involved maybe than I'd ideally want a mainline transformer to be. But it also looks like something that, yeah, I can sit there and do that in a couple minutes and it's fine every once in a while. Like we're
Well,
not quite back to 2010, 2011 again, where you buy something new, you transform it once, and you think, wow, I never want to do that again.
well, that's the problem with like MP44 is at that size and price point, they make it complex to make it seem worth the money because it's a danger of like, oh, I got this really great masterpiece figure and you're done in 5 minutes. It's like, this is what I paid for. But on the reverse end, you get something like MP44 that is just, step one, step two, step 70. And you're like, this is and then you start seeing they're adding complexity to meet the price point. The price point doesn't need to be that complex, but they're making it that till it seems like you're getting your money's worth.
I think it's kind of a round robin thing, though. Like they're going for a certain aesthetic with the masterpieces. Now, we've talked about this in some depth over the last few years. Like when they decided they were going like cartoon heavy focus on masterpiece robot modes, necessarily that led to an increase in complexity in order to be able to enact that change from realistic or realistic-ish vehicle modes. You're not going to have a simple thing to get from a car that looks like a real car to a Sunbow robot that doesn't look like anything. So like that automatically, that was its own like self-fulfilling prophecy, which is going to drive the price point up. Maybe they tried to build in, a certain level of that complexity to meet what they knew the price point was going to have to be anyway to get the basic functionality out. But like once they turned away from stuff like the Masterpiece Autobot cars are the best example, the Sideswipe era stuff. Like when they turned away from doing stuff like that into doing stuff like Sunstreaker is a great early example of going the wrong direction with the masterpieces too. Like
Inferno was pretty much where it started, but that was still a really good figure.
yeah, because I mean, like Inferno is kind of the best case for it because the cartoon model for Inferno is still pretty close to what the toy looks like. Like in that case, it's mostly cosmetic styling, and they were still able to do with Inferno like some of the cool stuff that they used to do with masterpieces in the transformation engineering, because they didn't have to put all of that into just making the one shape turn into the other completely different blob amorphous shape.
Yeah, the Inferno Masterpiece Inferno ladder engineering astounds
Oh,
me to this day.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
brilliant.
yeah, that's toy technology being used properly and
Mhm.
not going and like look at skids. Look how refreshing skid. I don't have skids, but I've got Reboost.
Right.
Look how refreshing skids was surrounded by all the other figures of just being that Dotson brother era transformation. It
Mhm.
it wasn't super complex, but it felt satisfying, and you got a great looking robot out of a great looking car.
And it was fairly reasonably priced, more importantly.
Yeah, exactly. And but now look at Genrai. I mean, even the base Genrai cab and Power Master, Godmaster, is way more than I want to put into it. And God help me, I don't want the Super Genrai just does not look right. And then you're going to have a God Bomber eventually on top of that. And it's it's too much of a good thing because you don't know how much of that's actually going to be good.
In the Discord, Rusty Cross just said, my masterpieces are the coolest looking statues I've ever bought.
Well, it's like, Rhinox,
I mean, there are some of them I would take down and mess with, and some of them I hope to never touch again. Hound.
it's like I love this Rhinox, but I will be honest, I doubt I'll ever put him back into Rhino mode because when I put him on the shelf with the other Beast Wars masterpieces I've got, this is how I want him to be with chain guns in hand. I don't think it would be as bad as some of the other figures, but I don't want to put myself through it because I'd have to put him back into robot mode at some point,
Mhm.
and there's just enough the way everything piles back here and piles behind the chest plate to have to unfurl. And can I do it? Yeah. Do I want to do it? Not particularly, because this is what I prefer.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hound is the best example I can come up with for Masterpiece. Like I didn't have a problem with it when I got it. I actually kind of liked it. It wasn't until I tried to transform it back into Jeep mode, and that was just nearly disastrous. Like I almost broke it a couple times with those tiny, thin, flimsy panels. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons I just never got any masterpieces after MP1, because it's like MP1 is relatively pleasant to handle. The toes pop off sometimes because the lower legs are die cast, but
Yeah.
Damn it, diecast.
but I really don't want to own any toys expensive and delicate enough that I feel like I'm part of the freaking bomb squad when I transform them.
Right,
that's-
right,
and-
right.
And that's what a lot of third party has gotten to now is it's just overly complex for the sake of being overly complex.
And some of them can pull it off. Like Unique Toys does amazing things with their engineering, and from everything I've ever heard, the toys are pretty damn sturdy for what they go through.
yeah,
I liked the X-Transbot Stunticons before they made me mad by changing the trailer and screwing up the proportions of Menosaur. But the cars themselves, and especially Motormaster, they were great.
Hmm.
yeah. It's just there's so many third party things I want, but I have to look at it and say, one, is this a character I really need this representation of? And two, am I even going to enjoy it once I get it? Because I watch a transformation video and it's like I do not want to put myself through that. It doesn't look fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal Don's thing here. Take a drink. I'm gonna name a YouTube reviewer. MGO puts transformation videos up, from robot to vehicle or robot to alt mode and back. Like so you can just follow that. And like for the new toys, when I see those pop up, you can tell a lot about the toy just for what the length of those transformation only videos end up being.
Yeah.
And some of the
Well,
I
he's
don't
the
know
one
that
I
he
use for Rhinox.
I don't know that he does a lot of like unofficial stuff anymore, but like he used to, cover some of that stuff more extensively. Some of those were like, 30, 35 minutes long. Some of the masterpieces end up being about that long. Like that's just he's going through it slowly with clear steps, but if it takes that long to do that for demonstration purposes, like it's going to be faster when you're doing it for real yourself and not trying to show someone how to do it, but like that's still going to be like a huge time sink, and it's just like it takes the fun out of it in a lot of ways, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, his video for MPM Brawl was about 25 minutes, but there's a lot of stuff that requires moving and tabbing.
Hmm.
But if I ever did it on my own, I couldn't do it on my own because getting everything compressed is easy. Uncompressing it and getting back where it goes is extremely confusing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the mental fortitude anymore on some of this stuff to actively. It's a frustration.
Before we wrap up, I want to just circle back to Rob's point about the masterpieces. So MP1 is a great example of like a huge, big, sturdy, chunky thing that worked pretty well for what it was doing. But like there were some of the other early masterpieces that were basically in the same boat. Masterpiece Grimlock at the time was the best Grimlock you can get. It's been completely supplanted in terms of just being a good Grimlock by Studio Series 86. But like that was perfectly good, easy enough to transform, fairly sturdy. The reissue they did in like 2009 was not as great feeling. That was a little bit looser. You could tell the plastic quality had changed somewhat. But still kind of fundamentally worked. Um, the retooling of Starscream, that was pretty okay. The original one had some fragile points, I think, on it, but the retool kind of addressed some of those problems. But like with early Masterpiece, I think we latch on to issues like Megatron, which had some thin, fragile parts, and the infamous, rusting issues on the metal parts, and then of course MP9 Rodimus, the disaster.
Yeah,
But he had exploding knee action though. So.
well, Well, now, wasn't Rodimus more about the tolerances that were coming up in production? That's why he had so many problems, was the tolerances in the design work, but in the production, when you get all those variances, that's what was causing everybody's copies to have a whole bunch of different problems.
Which means it didn't work.
Right.
Like,
But
As to your point about the Starscream retool, I have like all of those,
yes,
and
yes, you do.
not a single one will the midsections hold together.
Okay,
Yeah,
they don't, but they don't break either.
No, but yeah, good luck, doing anything with him, because as soon as you pick
Right.
him up, he like extends at the center.
Well, like exploding knee, that's
Tragic
just an
toy.
action feature.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I can't even imagine dealing with some of these, because there are, in all honesty, some deluxes I can still handle, get halfway through, go, I don't want to do this anymore, turn back into a robot and put away. So I
Yeah.
can't even
Yeah.
imagine messing with a
do
masterpiece.
you know who still is sitting in a box, half transformed? I never went back to it.
Alternator Grimlock?
No. Leader class movie Sentinel Prime.
I get that
Oh,
reference,
I
though,
bet.
Rob.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
I sold rather than transform.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he literally is in a box somewhere, half transformed, because I could not get anything to go where it was supposed to go. So he's just like he's like the kill me part of of Ratchet and Megatron from the front cover. It's just like, and he's in a box somewhere, and I've never touched him since because I just got so fed up with it.
Just to torture the metaphor, the way to transform him is to turn God mode on so that the parts can clip through each other.
Ah, yes, yes.
And to be clear, like, I am a fan of like complex transformers. The engineering speaks to me.
Yeah.
But there is a point where it just turns into frustration.
Yeah,
Mhm.
complex engineering is absolutely fine, but it has to be comfortable, interesting, and fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Well,
when they hit the right balance on that, it's wonderful.
Mhm.
It's just, but I don't want to, spend half an hour massaging like all the joints in the leg to get the tabs on like the side
Yes.
of a car to line up. Hate
Yeah.
that.
yeah, it sort of reminds me of when I had the Star Wars Transformer Death Star / Darth Vader. Putting a Darth Vader figure into a ball is very difficult. Getting all of the tabs, just imagine the back of Unicron's legs, trying to get them in a circle as the Death Star. And you push one, and this one pops out. And then
Mhm.
you push this in, and two more pop out. You literally cannot get him into a ball. And that's what a lot of these current masterpiece figures feels like. You have to do 6 things simultaneously, and if it snaps, you're done.
Mhm. Yeah, like early masterpieces had their good points. From MP10 on, for a good chunk of the way, they were also still good, sturdy, pretty easy to transform things. I got to handle. It might have been Tiger Track. I don't remember. It was one of the side swipe recolors that Matt bought at a BotCon. I
Yeah, it was
messed with
Tiger
that.
Track.
Yeah. I've handled the Wheeljack mold. I had a copy of Exhaust that I bought from a toy store in Chattanooga one time, and like that was scary at one point because I forgot to move the clear wings out of the ways. Um, but like nothing broke. I saw what I was doing wrong before it got to that point, and there was nothing else about it really that was, scary like that. It was perfectly fine. For a good long stretch there, those were just like really solid, competent, easy enough to handle toys at not terrible prices. And then one day they started becoming, three-dimensional cartoon characters, and everything just felt bad
Yeah, because
and cost way too much.
I've got that KO of MP44 that I got just to put on the shelf because it was like $80.
Theft.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I know. But I don't dare transform it because I've seen MP44's transformation. That's not something I even want to do, let
Mhm.
alone on a KO.
Yeah.
I got that
Mhm.
KO because it looks good on the shelf as like, but in reality, you got the Magic Square
Yeah.
figure that are much better than that thing. at a third to a fourth of the price for a G1 Optimus.
Yeah.
And
also staffed with a different flavor. So this is going to be
Right.
an editing nightmare for Brian, probably, because this is a lot of great show content that is theoretically still in our patrons only portion. Hopefully, once I throw to back to the main show stuff, he will find a way to incorporate this back in so everybody gets the benefit of it. But if not, our patrons are going to get a hell of an off-topic segment in their feeds this week. So, of course, our ham sandwiches off topic what we got segment is exclusive to our patrons. If you would like to be a part of that, you can go sign up at our Patreon, patreon.com/tfradio. Of the various benefits that you get from that, a few include ad-free versions of the podcast. The public feed gets automatically inserted pre-roll and post-roll ads. You will get the show about a day early, not necessarily 24 hours, but it will go up on the patron feed the day before it goes up to the public feed. You get the show at a higher bit rate so that you can hear Don going on at length about Miraculous Ladybug or what have you, I don't know, in the highest possible quality. You get the weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast as well. I wasn't here for most of the pre-show this week, so I can't really vouch for the quality of it, but it's usually some pretty interesting content. I don't think Don got to talk about Babylon 5 any this week, so you missed out on that, but maybe next time. If you are a touched patron, you get the opportunity to be on There Goes My Money, and our patrons at any tier get There Goes My Money a week early versus the public feed. There Goes My Money records twice a month. It's a really fun time recording that. If you're already at the touch tier, I highly recommend take advantage of your perk to be on the show if you have the time and inclination. And if you're just interested, like I personally think, I might be biased, I think it's worth signing up for and coming and hanging out with us a little bit. And of course, our touch patrons get mentioned on the show each week. They can also be seen at tfradio.net/credits. And I want to thank our touch patrons right now, starting with Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob Owen Lutia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollusk Koenig. Thank you all so much for being our touch patrons. Brian had to leave us early to go deal with some personal issues, but if you want to find the things he does online, he's at briankilby.com or at Kilby on Blue Sky. He has the Happy Daily podcast frequently but irregularly, I guess I will say. So, go check that out to find out the latest goings on in Wilkes County. You can find me on Blue Sky at ChrisRTXV. You can find the things I've done on the internet at playwithphotography.com. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. Using that link will take you through the Amazon affiliate program and send a little bit of money back to help support RFC for any purchases you make. Just in general, tfradio.net/Amazon is another great way to support the show if you don't want to use Patreon. Anything you buy normally, it'll go back and give us a little bit revenue for each sale, so we can keep doing the show. Matt, where will we not find you on Blue Sky?
At Melvar, that's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Rob, where are you at?
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. That is vaguely connected to Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel, which mostly covers Gundam gaming. I did a little bit more coverage of the second Gundam Breaker 4 open network test over the weekend. Didn't get a chance to try diorama mode, but the full game comes out in 2 weeks, so I'm not going to be waiting for long.
Oh, I so want that.
It looks so good. But if you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can make requests for Gundam Battle Operation 2 or Breaker 4, or just otherwise help support my efforts for that, and I appreciate it. And if you want to send me anything, tfradio.net/claylist will get to my Amazon wish list, which supports the show in the same way that tfradio.net/Amazon does.
Great. Diecast?
You can follow me on Twitter, X, and Blue Social at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can also see my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/RFC reviews.
And Headmaster Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be reached on Blue Sky if I can ever remember to log in at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I forgot my password and haven't done a recovery yet. I also have an Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/Don list.
Of course, John Deluna was not here with us this week, but you can find him online everywhere at that John D. Rob Springer also not here with us, but check him out at Zonebase on Blue Sky or zonebase.org for his personal website. You can also find his Transform Squadron podcast on our main podcast feed, and that gets updated about once a month. All right, so that will do it for our show tonight. Thank you all so much for being here, and we will see you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Recording stopped.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, people watching live, I'm ending the stream. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.
By Twitch. I don't know if Twitch actually.
So I think I much prefer Aftermath with the tow winch up.
Oh, Twitch didn't happen.
Yeah, I think that's how it's actually supposed to be.
It doesn't show it that way on the packaging, and I didn't look at the instructions.
Yeah, so the whole like top half of the cab rotates around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do. And I had not had enough time with the toy